Hi everyone, I'm April, and you're watching The Tangled Cat Speaks, and this is a crafty edition. So, I got not one, but two things finished in February. I'm gonna go ahead and reintroduce myself here. I'm April. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I like to read and knit and crochet. I like to do puzzles and cross stitch too from time to time. And yeah, February was very productive for me. I got two things done that I had started months and months and months previous, and finally buckled down and said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish them. And now I get to show them to you. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and I'm probably going to end up having to put some pictures up here that show it off better, because I chose to pair highly speckled yarn with lace, and that's usually a no-no because you can't see the lace through the speckly colors, but I did it anyway, and I am in love, and it is very light and airy, and this is it. This is the Brayton shawl. I'll put the name of the designer up here, but look at it. It's so sheer and see-through. I love it. I love it. I love it. This thing is about 75 inches across the top edge, about 35 down the center. I love it. I love it. We're putting it on because why not? That's the backside. These yarns, I mean, I could wear it like that. Cute. Oh, you can kind of see the lace like that. These yarns were three different leftovers that I combined, and I'll put a picture up here of what yarns I used. I basically alternated rows all the way down, and I was able to use the two colors for the most part, and then the very last one, the very last few rows here, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but these last few rows are much brighter than these ones, because this is where I ended up dipping into that third color, but they were all kind of an aqua base with different speckles. There was one that had mostly like dark greens and dark brown speckles, and then the other one was very much like blues, purples, and pinks. And so when I alternated the rows, they kind of blend in together because that background aqua color really tied them together. And then down here, this one was a little bit more of a whiter base. It was still kind of aqua, but much lighter, and then it had brighter colors like the bright oranges and yellows that the other ones didn't have. So you could kind of see a little bit of a difference, but it's on the very end, and I don't really care. I still love it, and it just it sits so nice and light. I wore it to work the other day. I was wearing a short sleeve top, and because it is starting to warm up here in Albuquerque, they had the air conditioner on and I was freezing, so I just sat there all bundled up and happy as a clam in my shawl. So yeah, that's the Brayton, and I absolutely adore it. Very excited that I finished that one. And then I finally finished another whip. It's called the Winterfell Cowl, and again, I'll put the designer name up here. Now this one was a two yarns that I held together. One was worsted weight Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in, I think it was Dove Gray, and then the other one was a long color change mohair, and that's really what ended up being the dominant color. Like that gray, you can't tell. I mean the mohair, it was brighter. I ran out of both colors, so I don't have them to show you. But it was brighter. The gray of the worsted weight did kind of dull down that, but I love how it turned out. This is so, so fun. Now this here was not part of the pattern. She called for um, a leather type of closure or whatever closure you wanted to use, but she used a leather closure, and I've seen other people who use actual buttons. I did have a tiny bit of that yarn, of both yarns left over, so I just crocheted a circle, smushed it together by wrapping it up, and then sewed it on and made a button, a flowery button. So it's just a very, oh, let's see, I'm going to tilt you down a little bit, maybe. And then I just kind of pop it through one of the lace holes here. And now I've got a flowery button, maybe, there it goes. And this will sit under the collar of a coat. Not that I'm going to be wearing it anytime soon, because like I said, Albuquerque is warming up. You can wear it like right in the middle. I kind of like it, and I think she wears it like this too, like to the side a little. And it's very warm, and I don't find most yarns too itchy. A lot of people find Wool of the Andes, and this is non-superwash Wool of the Andes, find it itchy. I don't find it itchy, but there you go. And I'm not going to try to struggle getting that button off again, so I'm just going to take it off. That's what I finished, and I was very, very pleased with myself. And I did want to start something new. I still want to start something new, but I pulled out another old whip, and this one was basically about that big. So it's kind of like I started something new. This is the henwife shawl. Sorry for my floppy needles. The henwife shawl, and this is going to be garter on two of the wings, and then down the back, and it's going to keep getting wider and wider, is this lace. Now this is basically a DK weight shawl, but ages and ages ago I went crazy on Knit Picks and I bought tons of their lace weight. I can't think of the name of the lace weight. I don't remember, but I'm going to pull you guys back up because I feel like half my head is cut off. What I did was I held 3 strands of 3 different colors together to make the DK weight. And you can, I don't know if you can see the 3 different colors very clearly, but there is a kind of a summery green, a hunter green, and a grayish purple. And I just got all 3 colors, wound them up with my little winder, where is it, right there, and made 3 cakes. So I had 3 skeins of each color, and I caked them up. It's funny how they cake up because it keeps coming out in a more solid way, but the way it caked up, they look crazy. Yeah, I'll see, you can kind of see. Okay, look, there's that. Oh, and I have the 3rd one. So this one is kind of showing the darker green. For whatever reason, it's showing more prominent there. And this is the summery green. And then this is the grayish purple. And it's turning into this really pretty heathered green. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am halfway through the 2nd chart. There's 4 charts, and you've got to go through all 4 charts twice. I did it again, twice. But I'm loving it. Yeah, I have been on a lace kick. It's been a while since I did lace, and I'm super excited. Super, 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 super excited. Hold on, because I did buy some yarns. I was addicted to the pictures, and I had to get them. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I saw these on Instagram. I don't follow this person. They just kind of showed up, And I'm glad it did, because I keep telling myself that I don't, even though this is green, I don't actually knit a lot of green stuff. And I really, really have been thinking I need more green in my life as far as knitting. And then Instagram heard my thoughts and said, here you go. Now this is from Tia's Terrific Threads. And I can't remember if it was Etsy. I can't remember, but oh my stars, like, oh, 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 oh. So this is what I really want to do next. And I want to do an all over lace, because let's see, this is kind of lacy, but it's got a lot of garter in it. This is quite lacy, but it's also broken up by stockinette. It's bands of both. It alternates. And then this one, like I said, is only going to have the lace in the center. I want to do an all over lace stole. And the one I found, I think it's called Diagonal Fern something or other. I've already got a plan. It's an all over lace rectangular stole or shawl. And I'm going to go ahead and just stripe these. I may do it in the order that they're in there now, or I may just throw them in a bag and pick blindly. I don't know, but I'm just going to straight on color block these yarns. And I may actually, because these are 20 grams, I may do 10 grams of each color and then repeat it again. So there'll be smaller color blocks and you'll see each color twice. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know, but it's so delicious looking. Like, So thank you, Tia's Terrific Threads, for popping up on my Instagram and twisting my arm to get your yarn. So those are potential future plans. I don't know. They're definite future plans. I just don't know when in the future. It's March. And I may just start it this month. I won't finish it this month, but I may just start it, because once I finish this, that'll be 3 whips. And maybe I deserve a new cast on after that. But that is all the crafting that I did in February. I didn't crochet except for that tiny little flower on the cowl. And my puzzle is still sitting somewhere back in that room, sorted and not started. And I keep meaning to sit down and do that. But like I said, I was on a knitting frenzy all through February, so I didn't really have it in me to stop doing that to do a puzzle. And what did I do while I was knitting? Did I listen to audiobooks? No, I watched and binged a couple of shows on, let's see, well, I binged one show from beginning to end, and that was Bodkin. Did I see this on, I can't remember if that was Prime or Netflix. I think it was Prime. But Bodkin, which is set in Ireland. Yeah. Pretty sure it was Prime. Anyway, set in Ireland. It's an American guy who likes to tell all of the Irish locals that he's Irish, because he's, got family. He descended from Irish family. And they're like, he's like, yeah, I'm Irish. And they're like, are you now? But he's there. I think there's a British young woman, and then there is an Irish woman who was living in, I think, London, and she got assigned to these two. These two are doing sort of they're trying to do a podcast based on an old cold case mystery. And they're trying to tell that story, not necessarily solve the story, but they want to tell that story in their podcast. And so the Irish lady kind of got roped in to come back and help them, because she got into some trouble where she was working, and they kind of like, okay, we're gonna put you on the back burner. You're going to go back to Ireland. You're going to help these guys out since you know the lay of the land, kind of thing. You're going to sort of be their guide and help them with their information gathering for their podcast. And so here they are in Ireland, and it's kind of funny and it's kind of dark, and then there's the mystery aspect, because lo and behold, they decide that they must solve this mystery. And it is fun. I binged it in a couple of days, and while I was in my knitting frenzy, I was watching that. Had a really good time with Bodkin. I did season 2 of Falling Skies, which is the early 2000s, I think, TV show that I really loved back then. So I'm rewatching it. So I'm done with season 2, about to start season 3. And Jujutsu Kaisen came out with another season, a third season of their anime. And so I am 2 episodes into that. Jujutsu Kaisen is, I don't know how to describe that anime. I don't. It's a young kid that kind of tampered with what he shouldn't have been and ended up with a demon inside of him. And he's able to kind of suppress the demon for most part, but sometimes that demon takes over and bad things happen. And he ends up going to this school for people who are kind of like demon slayers in a way. And they're trying to train him, but they're also trying to use him to capture other demons, because he does have this demon power within him. So he's kind of being used as their secret weapon, sometimes as bait. All that being said, that anime is trippy in the monster design, and it's I don't always understand what's going on in that anime, but I like it. I don't know how to explain it, but I do like it, and I'm very excited that they have this third season out, so I will be continuing that. A new to me anime that I've started is Demon Slayer. They slay a lot of demons in these animes. But this one is Demon Slayer. The first season, I think, is called Kimetsu no Yaiba. I'm probably mispronouncing that. All kinds of crazy. But I've been watching that. I'm about 5 episodes into that one. And this one I can understand. I'm definitely following this one much easier, but it's still kind of wild. These are kind of violent animes, but I'm enjoying it. I'm very much enjoying it. This one follows a young man who kind of lives out in the outskirts of town in the mountains, and there was always this myth or legend, don't stay out after dark because the demons are going to get you. They're hiding in the forest. So nobody ventures outside in the dark, but this kid would have to go down the mountain into town to get provisions for his family and to sell things to get money, that kind of thing. And one day he just kind of was running a little bit late and ended up at this man's cottage. The man was kindly enough to let him stay the night there so that he wouldn't have to walk through the forest in the dark. And he gets home the next day and finds that demons got a hold of his family. Everybody's dead except for his sister. She's kind of clinging on to life, but then it turns out that she has been not killed, but transformed into a demon herself. And a demon slayer is sent to kill her. And he fights off the demon slayer. He's like, no, that's my sister. You can't. What's wrong with you? And he's like, she must die, and I will kill you if I have to kill her. And this kind of pisses off the sister, who's a demon, but she defends her brother, and that makes the demon slayer kind of stand back and be like, wait a minute, demons don't do that. There is something different about her. And so he lets them both live and guides him to this man who is kind of like a demon slayer mentor, instructor, and he teaches this kid how to fight demons. So he becomes a demon slayer, but all the while he's traveling with his demon sister, and he's trying to find a cure. He's like, she's different from all the other demons. There has to be a way to change her back. I'm going to find the solution to save my sister. But in the meantime, he keeps getting called upon because now he's part of this demon slayer organization, and he's being called upon in different towns to slay demons. And it's very interesting, and I am so glad that my son recommended this one to me. I'm very much invested in that anime. So that's what I've been watching. Yeah, that's all I got as far as crafty stuff and what I've been watching on the TV. Let me know what you've got going on. Do you watch TV when you craft, or do you listen to audiobooks, or are you just into the craft and don't have anything else occupying your mind? Let me know. If you are watching something, let me know. Maybe I will be intrigued enough to watch it. I am glad that you spent a little bit of time. Sorry, I shook the table. I'm glad you spent a little bit of time with me and coming back. And to anybody new, I am very glad that you are here, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.